be a welder. So we have all of those various programs, and we'd like to come and set up schools here in South Africa because we've already got the curriculum and the programs, and some of our clients, are international, so they need to hire those students as well.
So in terms of getting all those students, what criteria are you guys looking at? Do you just take anyone from anywhere, or do you look for specific skills?
You know what? No, most of the students are. They're not just fresh out of high school. Some of them may be in their late 20s or so, but we take you at least have to have a high school diploma, okay? And, or GED, or what we call in the States a GED, or certificate, which means you have met the qualifications for a high school diploma. More and more, some students are coming straight out of high school and going to these programs. But for the most part, on average, it's students that have been out for a while, and they're trying to find their way. This didn't work. Maybe they started at a 4-year institution. That didn't work. Now they've got 1 or 2 kids. That didn't work. And so it's now like, oh, I want to be a welder. And they sign up for the program. Or I want to be a nurse's assistant. And now they can go from that to being a registered nurse, if they choose to. Or I want to go into culinary arts.
I'll say this. I'm sorry, last one.
Good day. My name is Lukolo Mukasakasa, native Kosa. Thank you so much. I wanted to find out 2 things. First, why South Africa? And if so, or have you actually tried this kind of program that you're actually doing in other countries? But why South Africa?
Well, I started to look at South Africa. Primarily, the mayor was coming from Houston, and from my understanding, there's a long history between South Africa and Houston, Texas. The Consul General for Texas over South Africa is here, and she's been here 25, 30 times. And so she's got a lot of relationships that have spanned years here. And she actually invited me, to come based on the work that I'm doing and what she feels like the needs are based on talking to a lot of the citizens and corporations and government agencies here.
All right.
By the way, and I like South Africa.
All right. my name is Silo. In terms of that, I heard you were talking about also part of engineering, because I'm working for the Department of Environmental Affairs. So there are some students that we take, to go to Antarctica. We train them for something like 2 years. After training them, checking if we can place them in connection with civil engineering, mechanical engineering, stuff like that, because they go through our department. We select them from Pretoria and send them to Cape Town. They would be going Antarctica via shipment, so that they could see the broader part of the training that they may need. Now, I'm looking at the fact that if you already wanted to build kind of like that school, in terms of EIA, environmental impact assessment, in terms of waste management, permits, I am availing myself to help you to get through those authorizations.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it will take you time.
Sure.
Because there are only 2 centers that they can register people for those kind of certificates. It's only in Gauteng as well as Western Cape, but linked to all the provinces as 9 of the provinces. So it is kind of like interesting on what you are saying. So I was smiling along the way while you are talking that, wow, she's talking the language that sometimes I'm talking, in terms of how do we regroup those people, get them intensive training, and so that they can give back to the community,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the community can give back to them.
Yes.
That's exactly right, because it's really about supporting the economic and social vitality of an individual. If you can do it for an individual, then you can do it about improving the quality of life for
Yes.
an individual. You know, it's I mean, education is the key. You know, I grew up in a low income, what we call back in the States. Okay, I come from a very large family, two-family household, but we, you know, probably were considered poor. My parents always said the key to success is your education. My father only had a third grade education. My mother did graduate from high school. So for all intents and purposes, I come from the first generation college graduates. I've got both a bachelor's degree in urban studies, urban planning, city and regional planning, and a master's degree in transportation and logistics. Why did I do transportation? It's an odd field to get. The bus wouldn't come, simply put. That meant I was late for school.
So sort it out, yeah.
Yes, you know, let me say that's plate drop, the bus didn't come. Okay, yeah. And so I'm like, and my father always said, if you cannot be a part of the solution, then don't be a part of the problem, okay? And being a part of the problem is just complaining. So I had to pick up my plate, or pick up my mat and move. So why can't this bus come at 1,300 hours like it's supposed to every day? You know, so I needed to understand that so that I could help fix that, because somebody was late for work. I was only late for class. Somebody was late for work. Somebody was late for a doctor's appointment, and all of these different things. So that's, you know, just a little bit come from a family of 13. And so that stuck with me. Get a good education. It is the key to your success, quality of life, and things of that nature. So,
Yeah, because I mean, we also have transportation problems here. I work at a factory, and the one worker told me like, no, our questions don't get answered, so we just destroy it. Like you went into transport, they just destroyed it. So maybe there's a leadership there of, let's solve the problem instead of burning the train, because we all know that they burn trains down. They destroy the buses, the road systems, and why? Where's the leadership in, guys, let's rather solve the problem, let's get to work on time. So that's what happens, especially at the factory, because they all rely on those systems, but I don't know why, and then it just turns into destructive rather than solutions.
Yeah, that's
Strange.
so unfortunate, because, you know, transportation not only helps the individual, but I worked for the metro system in Washington, D.C. for a decade. And when I started, we had like 10 miles of the heavy rail system. And then when I left, we had about 85 miles. And the development around those stations, you know, it helped businesses. So everybody was making money, for crying out loud. Right?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So because if the bus can't get there, or that means people can't get there, and you want that traffic. You know, now some people think, well, if you have mass transportation, you know, it will increase crime or things of that nature. I swear I've never seen anybody on the bus with a flat screen television that they took out of somebody's house. I've never seen it. So, you know, people are going to get on the bus to go and rob. I just have not seen it, and I ride trains all the time. Buses.
I don't know how you fix that though, because we definitely need to fix that.
Yeah, that's
in our country. We all know it. No one wants to talk about it, I guess, but I mean, yeah, it is.
so. Yeah, because I saw so many people walking on the sides of the road and things of that nature. So, the government runs the transportation.
Well, there is a taxi. I think there is a taxi association, but it's all like cash. It's all cash. So, I mean, it's not taxed or anything.
And so you got
Subsidized by the government.
but it's so it's the taxis. It's not like a big bus, a transit.
Not taxis.
No,
taxis.
minibus,
The buses.
The minibus. Oh,
16 seaters. 16
That's all like cash. I don't know how the government gets money off those cash.
It's
No,
also
it's subsidized.
subsidized.
Okay.
Yeah. So they if it's subsidized, then you may get, you know, the government may put in. Let's say the fare is $2 or 2 rand. Y'all
No,
have to
10
translate
rands.
it.
10 rand, yeah.
10 rands. So the feds may give up, the government may give up 2 or 20%, 30%. I don't know what the subsidy may be here. You know, sometimes it ranges because we have subsidy, you know, as well.
But
I mean,
they also have metro buses.
they have
Yes,
the metro
those are the
buses.
ones that they
Those are the
subsidize.
ones that they subsidize.
A
I
lot
think
of
they-
Because the mini
The minibus
taxi,
industry is
and the
huge.
jitney services and stuff, and that's where they
those
went to
are
jitney.
privately owned.
Yes.
But they're exempted, like with the e-tolls, they're exempted from getting e-tolls.
Okay, so
They exempted because of the pressure from civil society, which is the taxi association. They get exempted from other things that because largely they contribute to the economy anyway because of the transportation, transporting the stuff, and all of that. But they don't get subsidized, but they're exempted from
other things.
other
that
things, yeah.
Somewhat subsidize them
Yeah.
because it's something they don't have to pay.
Yes,
you
yeah.
know, for the most part. So, so you have the metro system here,
Yeah.
buses and
But
trains.
it's a
Largely
small,
in cities.
there is
It's
also
quite limited.
a train.
Okay.
I think just like
Okay.
No, no.
it's like it's now 6 years old.
Okay.
On sociology.
Yeah.
Small
No,
train. So-
there is
Oh,
a
the
metro,
Gautrain.
yeah, there is Gautrain.
Gautrain is
The
underground.
Gautrain, yeah.
Gautrain.
But that's quite, that is quite
quite
expensive.
expensive to a
It's
lot
an
of
expensive
people.
transport method.
Really?
Very modern. It's like you're underground in London. You know, you've
Yeah, I
got
love
your
it.
tags that open. So
Yeah.
it is cool.
System like that.
But it's not like for
everybody
the
can afford it.
for the like your working class South African like
It's
Yeah.
quite hard.
They won't- they
Like
won't
you
do
only
it.
use a Gautrain when you're really desperate and you have to go for an interview. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna use my last penny to get to. Like that's when you get to the point like.
So how will you get to the job after you get it?
You try by all means get
That's
your
your-
minibus.
that's your
Get
problem.
over it. Like that's
Yeah, that's my problem. Okay, that's
No, I'm saying
that's your right. That's your right. That's your problem. I was taking it on.
Yeah.
Just come
you find a
to
way because you can never in your life say I'm gonna go to work every day by a Gautrain because it's quite expensive.
yeah, unless you got a really
Compared to
good
Middle
job.
income,
No, yeah.
targeted more to the middle income.
Yeah, it has a-
Oh, it's right.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
because we need to accommodate. Imagine the traffic before there was no Gautrain before. And there was this hideous traffic between Pretoria and Johannesburg. So obviously you need to accommodate government people who work in Pretoria and obviously people who work in Johannesburg.
Yes.
So there was this situation, this congestion. So you needed to accommodate that sector, that area of the working class, where it's okay now to just take your bag and just
Jump
move
on the
for-
train.
Yes, jump on the train and get to work. Come back knowing that you're safe. You don't need to be. You're not going to be pickpocketed somewhere. You know, so
Yeah,
it
there's
was to
police
accommodate.
everywhere
Yeah.
on the Gautrain.
Yeah.
So
This
it's,
side.
I think it was accommodating the middle income.
Yeah.
But the majority of people aren't like that, and they need to.
Yeah.
They
That's the
right.
problem.
That's it. That's the problem. I mean, you have, you know, if there are subsidies, I mean, it clearly needs to work for people that the real working class people to get to
And it's the majority.
job, and it's the majority. It's the majority. I mean, you can get to doctor's appointments. I mean, even if you just want to go have fun, if you will, to catch a
Yeah.
train or the bus, you know.
Yeah, I think it's an area that we really need to work on.
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms
Then why
of
do- why-
spoke of cooperation.
Why do they destroy it? Why do they destroy the stuff though? Is it such frustration? I don't know. Is
We've
it,
got a, we've got a
So
history
they
of violence.
vandalize the public.
because then you can't even arrive late. You just can't. You just don't arrive.
Yeah, that is a problem.
You know what I mean? You
It's
destroy
a
the
cancer
thing.
that we, yeah.
And I don't understand why. You know, like why is it?
But like you understand that there's a lot of stuff that you go through as a person, as an individual. Like let me put it like you go through a lot, you are skiing, and then you deal for the first time, second time, like okay, cool, I'm gonna try this other way. But you get to a point where like, damn, I
Ultimate
can't.
frustration.
I have to literally do this for them to notice my anger. Because you know when your parents like you aim, they're like, ah, cool, you will cool down, it's okay, fine. But when you do ban something, that's when they notice if that much.
But that's shooting yourself in the foot.
I know, but it's a human nature. It's a
Yeah.
human